So we are now recording, as I mentioned, and this will be used for the replay of the session. So the questions can be done at the end. When there's no recording, there's privacy, okay? So welcome everyone live and watching the replay for this training from stuck to clear. And the purpose is to rediscover what you truly want from your work, okay? I'm Joanna Orvalho, as it says in there. I'm a career simplifier, a speaker, and a best-selling author. But I am also an ex-banking professional, so I do know firsthand what it is to feel super unfulfilled, lost, stuck, while it's quite successful on paper. But I am familiar with those really, awful feelings of not knowing what to do. So because of that, I know what you are going through, and hence why I've developed this training to really, really help you, okay? So my goal today is to help you reconnect with your career drivers, with what truly energizes you, so you can make intentional, fulfilling decisions going forward. And, remember, this is not about radical change. Well, it can be if you want it to be, but my purpose really is to connect you with yourself again, to realign yourself with your own priorities, personal and professional priorities. So this is, sometimes it's just a mindset shift, sometimes it's a huge change, and more often than not, it's kind of somewhere in the middle. So let's go through it together and see what it really means for you, okay? Now, in terms of if you're wondering if this training is worth your time, well, I've helped dozens of women to revamp their careers into one that really excites them, makes them feel fulfilled, that gives them a sense of purpose. I've been coaching women since 2018, so a few years now, and I really know what works and what doesn't work when it comes to reevaluate yourself, see what's really truly important, and build then a really robust plan and the mindset needed to go and land any change that's required for you, okay? So let's go through it. Let's start then the training. And first of all, I want to introduce to you my signature framework, the 3 C's of career fulfillment, as I call it. And the 3 C's, they stand for, the first one is clarity, is reconnecting with what you truly want. The second one is confidence, is building the belief in your voice and value. And we do that through 2 main areas. One is your practical tools, exercises, and also, on the other hand, is your mindset shifts, mindset exercises, building self-confidence that we work with as well. And then finally, the 3rd C is commitment, is taking action aligned with who you are, with what really matters to you. So today we are going deep on clarity, because without it, the rest will feel like, pieces that don't really fit together. Right? And also remember that the clarity is the foundation of it all. Without it, it's going to be really difficult for you then to build a house, right? It's like the foundation of a house. I also want to point out here that clarity is not a one-off moment. It's not being on this training and then suddenly, yes, okay, I've known it, I'm going to go for it. No, clarity is a journey, and it's a self-discovery journey. It's almost like when you decide that you want or that you need a new house. You don't know straight away the exact house that you're going to buy. You do have an awareness of what's missing for you, kind of what's driving that type of change for you. Maybe it's the location, maybe it's the size of the house, maybe you want, a modern house, whatever it might be that's driving it. You kind of have an idea, but then you go on that discovery. You go and you explore different areas, and you're going to see different buildings if it's buying a flat, or you see different houses, different types of houses, townhouses, detached, semi-detached, all of it, right? And you go through it, and as you encounter new things, you almost ask yourself, do I like this? Do I need this? How many bedrooms do I need? Do I want to have, how many bathrooms? All of it. And you kind of question yourself about your true desires and your needs when it comes to that house. And that's a journey, that's a path, that's, a process. It's exactly the same when it comes with your career, okay? And we're going to go through it together in terms of what that looks like, the path that you're going to go through it. But before we go into that, I really want to kind of clarify about what is clarity and what is not clarity, right? Because Clarity is kind of what it gives you, okay? So clarity really is knowing what energizes you, right? As opposites, and also knowing what drains you. It's important to have the positive and the negative, because both will offer different perspectives on something, on a path. So if you know both, great. The more clarity you will have. It's about honoring your personal priorities. Remember that in life, we have different hats, right? You're a daughter, you're maybe a mom, you may be a sister, you may be a wife, you're a friend, all of it, right? You're a professional, have different hats, but at the end of the day, you're only one. So it's important that the career that you have also respects your personal needs and your personal priorities. And clarity definitely is about seeing what success means to you. It's not about, what's the next logical step, what's going to look great on my CV, what do others think I should do? No, it's about you, what success means to you. And then, as I mentioned before, it is a journey. It's not a destination, okay? It's a journey. It involves, you discover more as you go along, as you discover more and as you go and work towards that clarity and that direction, maybe something else comes to light and you then suddenly you have a desire to learn a new skill that you haven't thought of at the beginning. So it is a journey, and it's about enjoying that journey as well. And then clarity is not going with the flow. Your manager says, I think you'd be great there. Just go there. And then you go with the flow. No, it's not that. It's about intention. Okay. It's not about following others' paths. It's not saying, oh, okay, I want to get there. So let me see exactly how she or he has done it. And I'm going to go and do the exact same steps. Maybe that doesn't make sense to you, right? Every person is unique. Your opportunities will be unique. Your skill set and your strengths are also unique. And most importantly, what makes you happy, passionate also differs. And as I said as well, it's not about just chasing promotions. It's not the next logical step. Everyone wants to go up. I'll go up. And is this path? Is a linear path? No, it's not about that. It's about feeling successful. It's about defining what success really means for you and go for it. And then finally, it is not a one-off decision, as we mentioned, right? It can change, it can evolve over time. So now that we are all on the same page about what clarity is and it is not, let's dive into your career drivers and how you can reconnect with them, okay? So it's important that you really know what drives your motivation at work, what drives your fulfillment, what drives that passion, that sense of success, okay? So to do that, I am offering you 3 prompts for you to really reflect on. I suggest you take a piece of paper, okay, as I've mentioned at the beginning before starting recording, that is useful as you watch this training. Take a piece of paper or just write it on your phone, right? Whatever works for you, but write it down so you can go back to it and really journal on this and reflect on this. And the first one is you ask yourself, what do you want more in your life and work right now? Right? I'm giving you just a few examples. Always remember that when I talk, they are examples. They might not mean anything to you. They might mean the world to you. But regardless of what they exactly mean, those examples, they are not an extensive list. So you need to do this work for yourself, okay? And this could be energy, creativity. You need space. You need meaning. You need more flexibility. You need to be seen as the expert. Whatever it is for you, okay? Really ask yourself, what is it that you want more of, okay? If you're struggling with that, you can always flip it and do it on the negative. Sometimes when you're feeling really stuck, really lost, it is easier to start with the negative. And, as with everything, there's no right or wrong answers. It's about what is the tool, what is the way that's going to get you there a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. So you can do it. What is it that I do not want more in my life or work right now? Okay. They can start to lead the way. Things that you want to avoid, start to shed a light on the things that actually will be good for you. And this is your first prompt. Second one, what are your personal priorities at this stage of life? Okay, this is hugely important because there are phases in life that we all go through, that sometimes family is more important, sometimes health is more important, sometimes impact, flexibility, money. If you're buying a house, for example, if you're starting to think about raising a family and you want some money on the side, then be able to hire a nanny. I don't know, right? I'm making up examples, but this is just to illustrate what are really your personal priorities at this stage of life, depending on where you are. And then thirdly, when do you feel most like yourself at your work? Okay. Think about the moments, the tasks, the people that light you up. And sometimes it's something that you do that is actually not in your job spec. It could be that you are part of, I don't know, a social committee, and that you love organizing the social gatherings, and you love the planning, you love the fact that you're coming in, put people together, right? All of it, and it has nothing to do with your job as, I don't know, a compliance manager, for example, right? Well, think about that. Think about what really energizes you. What is it that you would love to do more of, that you feel like lighter, that you feel with more energy when you do it. So think about that, and then we'll start to share a little bit of a light. Okay. And why is this so important? Because when you go from feeling stuck, for not knowing what's in front of you, like I call it the fog, like you can't really see, clarity can unlock wonderful things for you. It's like a game changer. It definitely is, because it makes you more confident. It allows you to make intentional decisions. As I was saying before, it's not about going with the flow. It's about knowing to which opportunities you should say yes or no to, or even which opportunities you should independently and actively pursue. So if your manager asks you, do you want to be involved in this particular project? You can ask yourself, well, does this give me more of what I want, or does it get me closer to my goal? Yes or no? And then depending on the answer, you know what to tell your manager, right? It's not about like finger in the air, I don't know, maybe yes, maybe not. No, it's about being intentional about your path, about your professional growth. Then you also stop chasing roles that don't fit you, right? For example, if you have clear in your head that flexibility is a must, if you get offered a job in a traditional investment bank that you need to be there 14 hours a day, always in the office, you know that that role is not going to suit you. It's as simple as that, because it has zero flexibility, right? So it's about knowing that, so that you're not even chasing, you're not even, entertaining those sort of opportunities or roles. And then you also create space for what matters the most to you as a professional and as a human being. So you align your professional path with your real life. As I mentioned, we all have different hats, absolutely, but underneath the hat, there's only one person, there's only one woman, there's only one human being. And that's important for you to never, never forget that. And once you have this clarity, this is really where the magic happens. You will feel energized again. You'll feel passionate. You'll feel successful. And you know why? Because you're not just guessing, as I mentioned, putting a finger in the air and saying, no, you are guided. You are guided through your ambition, through your desires, right? So that's a very different place to be at. But, and this is a big, big but, okay? You do need to put the effort in. Never, ever, ever, please forget that, okay? This is not about me telling you what to do. This is not about your manager telling you what to do. This is not about your partner telling you what to do, or your colleagues, or your friends, or your family, whatever. No, this is about you, okay? So you are the only one who can walk the walk, okay? I can guide you. Friends can guide you, right? A mentor could potentially guide you as well, right? But you are the one who needs to make those steps. So I invite you to take 10 minutes today or tomorrow. Again, please take a note and journal on this. What would my work and life look like if I fully honored what matters most to me? Okay. This is quite a huge question to answer. Okay. Has different aspects to it, right? The professional life has a personal life. You can do it separately, you can do it together. It doesn't matter. You can start with one or the other. What matters the most is that you let it flow. Remember, this is an exercise. This is a journaling prompt. So this is for you to write, but this is for you not to share with anyone unless you want to. Why am I referring this? Because this is in total privacy. No one will ever know what you write. So you can dream as big as you'd like. It can look as different to your life as you'd like it to be, right? It's your life right now. It doesn't matter. So allow it to flow. Allow it to let go of any expectations, let go of any responsibilities, let go of any weight of fear or guilt that you might have about thinking about doing something a little bit different, okay? Forget all of that. Forget the next logical step. Just be honest with yourself about your feelings, right? I'll make another analogy here, but this goes to moms, right? 9 out of 10 of my clients are moms. I'm a mom as well. And, my world, since I became a mom, has become very polarized by moms. I don't know if that happened to you, but for me, it certainly did in terms of, we go to baby classes, you go to the school, I get to meet a ton of moms, and some of them you relate to, and then you become friends. So, yeah, so that's quite a big part of my world at the moment. So, moms have something that is kind of, almost the mom guilt of not really admitting how we feel about things. And it's hard sometimes to find the balance between, be there for your child and doing something that you actually enjoy, or, spending as much time with your child as you can and spending, the amount of time that actually you are happy about, right? Or, focusing on your career and then feel guilty about it because either you're not with your child or focus on your career and really truly enjoying it. But again, the guilt comes up because, oh, I think maybe people will perceive me as this and that. So there's always those expectations, like it's a huge thing, mom guilt. I'm sure, a lot of you will know what I'm talking about. So it's about ditching that, really. It's about being honest and open with yourself. And going through those 3 journaling prompts that I shared with you earlier in the training. Focusing about, what's really important to you, what energizes you, what you want more of, what are the things that you don't want, and then spending time really, digesting that, questioning yourself about things. Do I want this? Do I do not want this? Similar to the house, right? Remember always that analogy. And then you go and you start to getting clearer. So really start asking yourself, how will everything look like? And sometimes the answer is not as scary as it might be at the beginning. Sometimes you feel hugely demotivated, hugely frustrated. But actually, when you deep dive into that, the big majority of your role you actually enjoy. Sometimes it's just the environment you're in. Maybe you don't get along with your manager. Maybe your team is not the best and therefore you feel a little bit suffocated during the day, but actually you enjoy the role. And guess what? That's quite an easy change. You're almost looking for the same type of role in a different organization. Or sometimes it's the fact that 90 or 60 or 80% of your role is doing something that you don't particularly enjoy. So it's about seeking an opportunity for you to maybe, move away a little bit of that particular area, right? I don't know, like make it up. Like, for example, you like governance, but you don't like risk management as such. And in your role, you do both. So it's maybe about positioning yourself to move towards more of a governance role and less about risk management, as an example, right? So what I'm trying to say is that before you start, don't frighten yourself about how it might look like. You don't know yet. So just go through the exercise, because always remember, this is an exercise for you. You don't have to share it with anyone. So no one will judge you, right? But most important, don't judge yourself. Don't critique yourself, okay? As you start. So this was my short training today. It was a very short training. So if this resonated with you, if this truly resonated with you, and you want to explore your own clarity more deeply, I'd love to support you, okay? But remember, this is for you if you are action driven, if you are ready to put in the time, the effort in discovering what a career that fulfills you really looks like for you. Because I will not give you the answers. I will not. I'll give you frameworks and I'll give you activities and I'll give you tools for you to discover those answers. Absolutely. I'll guide you through it. You don't have to even think about it twice, but I will not tell you what to do. So, right? So this is for strong, ambitious women that say, you know what? I'm ready for something a little bit different. I'm ready for something more, or I just feel stuck, but I know where I am. That's not it. The thought of being here in 5 years' time really drains me. So I'm ready to find out. And again, it doesn't mean that I have to take action straight away. No, it's about knowing what your direction is. It's about defining those goals and then take action whenever is appropriate for you. Okay. So I have a limited number of career clarity calls this month. So again, no pressure, right? You can book it if you'd like. And there will be no pressure in our conversation as well. This is just a 30-minute conversation to help you get unstuck. This is not a sales pitch at all. Okay. So you can click the link that I'm going to put in very quickly in the chat, or you can follow up in the email to book your full call. Okay, I'm going to send you an email as well after that. Let me maybe stop sharing my screen. No, let me do it this way. Okay, I'll put it in the chat very quickly after we go, because now, I mean, to be fair as well, in the recording, the chat cannot go. So I'm just going to say my goodbyes for the recording, and then we can do the Q&A for you, for those of you, sorry, for those of you who join me live. And then if you are watching the recording, please let me know if you have any follow-up questions. I'll be sharing the link on the emails as well in terms of booking the call. So yeah, it was my pleasure to share my framework with you today, and we deep dive into clarity, what it means, how you can reconnect with your career drivers, and what being clear about what you truly want can unlock for you. It is definitely a game changer. So if you'd like more unique, tailored support to your situation, book a call with me and we'll go through it together. It has been a pleasure. I hope to see you and speak with you all very, very soon. Bye. Just stop the recording.